Now that I've got a save load game set up, I can just resume from any of my saves. It does sound like somebody just arrived at my building, so it's possible I'll have to run to the desk. I do these streams from my overnight job, so sometimes I get interrupted. Be prepared. It's 4th of July weekend. There's a bunch of people here. Lots of dogs. We're a pet-friendly place, so we have lots of dogs here, and that's pretty cool. I'll change it up a little bit since I'm kind of tired of looking at red for now. So, with my save game system, I've actually added a few things. So now when you reload the game, you'll see this little message pop up down here. Universe log successfully restored. It doesn't pop up as a log message, which I think is the default. When you first start out with 001, I think the default message box, I don't even know if it's a message box, I think it's a log message, pops up in the bottom corner, says game has been successfully restored. So I've created my own version that just puts a little message down here. And the other thing I've added, these numbers I'm just testing, they're not actually part of the save slot yet, but you can see I've added a cool little blinking text prompt, input prompt. Here is a save name. So that looks pretty nice. It actually moves with the letters. I haven't figured out why it's still letting me, still displays letters if I type too many too fast, but this is a pretty simple system to set up. It uses a couple of timers and an input field. So right now it says the enter name, enter save game for slot 1. Now there's a few things I'll have to change in the scripting in order to make it say what I want it to say. I want it to say rename universe log here, but I have to change a few things. So let's look at how to make that little blinking input prompt thingy. I don't know what to call it. Little blinking line. So by default, the save game name menu is built into 001. It's just a little simple interface that lets you type in a name for a save game. So it's got a background. It comes with a background, a text field, a field called input, and a field called input border. So the ones that I've added are these backgrounds. There's a little header tab thing here, and then a display area. So there's also this border that I don't actually need. There's no scripting involved in this, so you could effectively delete the border if you're not using a border. This takes 2 timers. 1 timer to chop the text down and 1 timer to display and blink the line. So this timer here I've got named text prompt. It's set to about 0.25. Just doop 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 doop. Just kind of decent little, I don't know, decent little cycle. It's not too fast. So I'll get rid of these, so I'm not using these. So I'm using 2 sets of events to turn the line on and off. So inside the timer is a set of stuff, and then when you go into the line, there's a couple other things in here. So the visibility here is determined by the text length. So once the text reaches a certain length, you just figure that out by how long your input field is. As long as the text length is less than this value, and that's about how wide this is, 34 characters, I want it to be invisible. So as long as it's less than this number, it'll return a 1 here, and if it's greater than or equal to 34, it will return a 0 and it'll turn off. So that'll make it invisible. I have it set to invisible here, and invisible is different from existent. Existent means that it's not visible and you can't click on it or anything. It doesn't exist effectively. Invisible just means you can't see it. So you can select it. Fields on an interface that have a selector can still be selected if they're invisible, but not if they're not selectable, but invisible means they're just not visible, but they're still on the interface. So I want it to be existent, or I want it to be visible as long as there's text, or as long as the text is less than this size. And then over here in the timer, I keep coughing and I keep coughing every night. Probably dying. Who knows? Over here I've got an existence event instead of an invisible event. So if the text reaches a certain length, it'll turn invisible. But over here I've got this little animation set up. So every 0.25 seconds, it will run this little script here. And the first thing it's going to do is check to see if the text is greater than a certain value. You could also check if it's less than the length of your text. Is the input text more than 33 characters? And is the line on or off? Basically, this is a secondary shutoff, so whenever I don't actually think I need it anymore because I added that retrieve field. Let me test that because I haven't, then I'll explain it really quickly because I want to just make sure this works without that piece of script. Okay, so we'll continue from number 4 here. I've killed the enemies. There's nothing there. Go to save a game. Perfect. I don't even have to worry about that little condition anymore. I do have to fix this text appearing outside the input box, but for now, this will do. So inside the timer here, every 0.25 seconds, bye-bye, all I'm doing is checking a local variable here. It's called on-off. And if it's on, take the left path and turn the line non-existent and set the on-off variable to 0. And if it's off, do the opposite. Now, I could also just, I think I could just check the existence of the line and turn it on and off. But this is quick and easy. It doesn't really use any more resources to do. So that just blinks the line. The other part of the line has to be the positioning. So I want to position it to field input dot x. I want to position it to the x position of the input field, and you'll see they're exactly the same. So the input field starts from the left. It's aligned to the left, so its x position is right here on the interface, this line here. So that's about 502, x502. And then I want to get the length of text that's been typed into the input. And so that will tell me how many characters there are, not the size. And the size is what I need to multiply that number by. So these are about 8 pixels wide. So I want to multiply the character count by 8. So it'll just scoot the line to the end. Basically, as you add letters to the input field, or as you type in the input field, it'll just add the line and move it to the very end and scoot it over. The second half is this super fast timer that just checks to see if the number of characters is higher than the value that you want it to be. So it's about the size. 34 is about how many I can fit into this little black display area. So then I use this text.writeCut, and it'll just cut off the last character. So text.writeCut, I want to cut the field called input, and the very last digit there, the number 1, is how many I want to cut it by. So I just want to chop off the last character. Whatever character gets entered there just gets cut off if it's higher than a certain amount. So that effect is just to keep the name constrained to that input field. It's nice just being able to load back into certain positions. It also helps me test out things that might not work with the save load system. So go into the menu here. You also see I've added the green button behavior down here. So you can move and navigate this menu with the arrow keys while you're flying around. So if you're flying around and you just want to jump into one of these menus, look at the star chart, go to the main menu, you can. There's a few things I still have to fix. That selector field is kind of broken. So you go in here and we'll pretend we're saving something. That's how it works. You can see that it does take a second, or a fraction of a second, I guess, to see that there's a letter out there if you type too fast. I don't know yet how I'm going to fix that, but save a slot. So you save it. It does the same thing. It'll say universe log successfully saved. I also want to do I want to increase that delay that I've got. So the way that I've added that, first, you can ignore most of this. This is all just particular to my game, the stat load stuff. This is to reload and store the information that's going to be displayed at the bottom there. So really all I'm doing is I've added a little delay here at the end, and right before that it turns on the little hover text message at the bottom. It says universe log successfully stored, and that's a successful save game. I want it to show for about 2 seconds, and then if the player hasn't moved their mouse around and selected a different field, this should clear out the message and change it to one of these. Each of these is just showing, you know, the captain's name and the playtime. So the way that's working is just if you don't move your mouse, you can see the universe log or universe stored message at the bottom for about 2 seconds. But if you move the mouse cursor around, it won't. It'll just change it to the next slot, or show the next slot's information. And you see how each one of these has a different playtime, but if I were to do this and then move the mouse around, that message doesn't clear out and change to something else. It just shows the slot that I'm hovering over. So that's a super simple thing that I added. Nothing crazy. Hi. Die. So the enemies aren't super hard yet. There's not like smart behavior or anything. So that's how to make the little blinky line for an input. Got all my save game menu stuff here done. I think what I need to do next, the last button is my options menu, and that's got several subsections. So I'll call this options menu, give it a name, reset when displayed. For most of my main menu interfaces, I tend to reset them when you enter them, just to move the selector to the top and whatnot. So I want to copy, paste a couple of these things over here. I want to put this same interface background in there. I'm going to grab this header tab here. I'm going to make a full chunk. So the way that I save on my interface resource use, I guess, instead of having, ideally, instead of having like 5 or 6 different pieces to build up my backgrounds, I like to arrange everything, design the backgrounds, and then combine these pieces into one single image. So I can just have one graphic for the interface UI, or the GUI, or whatever it's called. GUI. And I guess the last little bit that I want is this header here. I'll just call this options, or game options. For now, game options. We'll call this, oh no, I didn't name them when I was in them. Options menu, options menu, options menu header. That way everything has a unique name and I don't run into weird issues later when I'm trying to move things or do things, if for some reason I want to access those. Then all I need really is one of these lovely glass buttons And one of these lovely blue glass buttons. So this will be my selector. This will be my button backgrounds. Da-da-da-da. I also don't actually remember if I have enough options menu pages to need all these buttons, so I'll have to go to the old project and see what I had. This is just to set up some basic options like volume levels. I'll make some sliders or something for volume levels. I want a button that you can delete save slots, so if you just want to clear out a save, you can go in there and delete it. That will be one of the options. Let me jump into the other project. So I did have a request from someone recently. They want to know if I plan to release the assets or anything from this project. And yes, technically half of them are available already. If you have downloaded any of my asset packs, there's a lot of the basic stuff like the backgrounds here, the space backgrounds. Most of the planet stuff is available in packs, but there's some work. I actually do have all the textures for these planets available, but you have to make your own. You have to make them into planets first. So let's go open up the old project. So keep in mind, I will most likely be releasing most of these assets in some form, at least like the planets, the backgrounds, and buttons and stuff. The more specific things like the interface designs, I don't know for sure. I might make everything available. We'll see. I don't necessarily want this to just be copied and ripped off, but it's not like I don't expect that to happen either. So in my main menu here, I have an options menu, and in the original project there's 4 sections: game settings, audio settings, video settings, delete universe, and return. So usually I like to just grab this little snipping tool so I can hold a screenshot somewhere when I'm working between the 2 projects, really. It's sort of like since I can't copy things between the 2 projects, I can, but if I were to move things from the old project into this one, they would just get disorganized and I'd have all kinds of folders, and I want to start from scratch, so I don't want to do that. Let's go to the options menu here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and so I know for a fact that I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons at this point. So we'll put this one here, and this will be game options button. This will actually have to be options, game options button. I think this was audio options button. Copy, paste another one. Video options. I don't actually think I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Shoot. Video options button. Scooch that behind the selector. I want the selector to be between these and the labels. You don't have to use the selector. You can just make your buttons change color, but I'm going to use a selector because why not? So there's only... I see what I did with the old project. I took the top slot to display options there. So this could take a little bit of thought. I do know that I want all these buttons here, and I want a return button. Return button. I guess I'll call it options return button. Options return button. I might. Don't know for sure yet. We'll see. I'll find out. Oh, I miss having those little arrows. I do kind of need to import my old font. I've made some edits to one of my font sets that has some characters that I would like to use, but for now I will actually want to see if this would be reasonable or not. Set this to static. I'm just going to use that. I kind of don't like that at all already. I only have a couple, so I don't need all those lines. I'm not sure yet. Game options, we'll start with game options. I do want that to be selectable. Don't want it to be word wrap. It's going to be custom because my text settings aren't set up right. Unselected, I want to be light gray, not white. What am I doing? Selected will be fully white. Disabled is dark gray for me. Dark gray. That way I can copy paste this. Oh, I want this aligned here. Actually, I want it aligned center, so I want it in the middle. And these should, okay, they're all centered. So game options. I haven't decided if I want these to be all caps or what yet, so I'm going with all caps at the moment. This will be audio options. Video options. I call them settings. Yeah, I did. I don't know. Could be options or settings, I guess. I don't actually know if it's important. Video options, video settings. Paste. 2 more of these. Back. Delete universe log. And shoot. I have too many entries. There's really only audio and video, and there's not that many video settings. Who knows? I'll come back to that, sort of. So now I've got this extra menu here. First I want to grab my positioning scripts here. I believe I will have that accessible by the title screen as well. I think. Pretty sure. I just got to add an option for the options menu on the title screen. So if the title screen is on, it will center this interface. If the flight interface is on, what is this one? Change value, flight buttons, menu hover, float up to nothing. Oh yeah, that clears out. Okay. Now I've got this basic menu here, and what I want it to do is same thing that the rest of these do. Open the new menu. This is a show save game event, so I get to create my own, where when you activate the options button, I want it to activate, change the active interface here. I want it to open my options menu but hide the main menu. So that will turn this one off and turn the options menu on. So I think I'm checking something somewhere to see if the main menu is on. I might not want to do that. Yes, it is. So, okay, instead of turning off the main menu, for now I want to leave it on, just to keep that condition from breaking. I can actually add a check later to check whether the options menu is on. So we'll come in here, do a quick test. Message. Cool. Let's go here. And now I should have my options menu. So this isn't moving because I don't have it set up to be the selector yet. We need to go, actually first I want to go to the options menu. Change that to options menu, selector. Move this backward by 1. Don't actually know what to call the 4th settings menu. I might make something up. We'll see. It might be difficulty settings or something. So the next one is delete universe button. Move that backward. And then the return button, move backward. So I've got all these unnamed labels. Called that game settings label. I've got everything called options. Game settings button. This isn't fun to watch. Or do. We'll just call them all settings buttons. Return button. Okay. Game settings label. Audio settings label. Video settings label. Let's just call this difficulty settings. Difficulty settings label. Delete universe label. Whoop. Not Lablay. And return options return label. Okay, that's my basic setup and names. So now to go back through all of these and change associate with field. So this effectively turns this entire button into one big button, and it grabs all the scripting, or all the scripting from the label will happen. So we're going to go to game settings label, audio settings label, video settings label. Wait. Not that one. Video settings label. Difficulty settings. Set this to delete universe and set this to return or back or whatever. Okay, now I'll save all the changes there. I've got two menus. It's possible I'll make this into a sub-menu style thing. I'm not sure yet. It'll say main menu up here and then turn this into an options display. If I can't think of enough things for the difficulty settings. I have not actually sat down and worked out how I'm going to implement difficulty. If there's going to be difficulty settings at all. I'm not really sure yet. I do want to add an options menu to the title screen. So I'll go back in here to my to-do list. Add options menu button on the title. I'll capitalize that. Title screen. Look at all this stuff all these little dashes are ones that I still have to do. So let's continue from here. And then I can save to this one. Ta-da! Okay, now my options menu opens, but my selector doesn't move because I never set it up. So we come in here and just pick the, where is it? Options menu selector, there it is. I'm just blind. Okay, continue from here. We'll just continue because it's fun to load my save games. Options. Now we have a working selector. Everything works. This will be my cancel button. You can, I believe you can set one up to be the cancel field here, which would be options return label. And here we will do this. Active, change active interface will be the main menu, and we'll just use hide. Hide will turn this menu off, switch back to the main menu. I haven't used the cancel field. You can set up a field to be a cancel field, so I think that should work if you just click on it. Maybe not. I haven't used this probably ever. Oh, once selected, well, I don't know. Okay, so I'm not going to do it that way. I just want to put a cancel interface event in here, and it'll cancel this interface. And what cancel this does is runs the trigger here. It'll actually run player canceled. So it fires anything that you have in this script. Come here and load a game. Okay, so that'll go back to the main menu. I might want some kind of pause. I don't know. Because it auto-highlights wherever your mouse is. That's kind of annoying, but it's not the worst. You can scroll through. Go to options. With your keys. I like to use keys and the mouse for all my stuff, make things as accessible as possible. That's one of the goals for this particular game, is I want it to just be, hopefully, I'm hoping it's as straightforward as it could be. Like when you mouse over these, there's going to be descriptions for each, but then everything will have a description, or at least tell you, like, I'm even going to add mouse over stuff to these, so orbit with the currently selected planet, scan the object, when you mouse over things. All of this stuff is going to, all the buttons for the most part, everything will have like a little mouse over description. And then I just want it to be easy to navigate, and I know there's going to be a lot of menus, but that's why I want to make things as straightforward as possible. So you can click on something and it'll tell you what you can do and what you can't. So I've got my basic menu set up here. Now, I think I need a separate menu for my delete universe. I believe that's what I did with the original project. I do have to jump back and forth a lot just to see anybody talking tonight. Nobody's talking tonight, but hello, whoever's watching. Good evening. Thank you for watching. I think that's separate here. My delete universe, yep. So delete universe, it's basically showing the different slots if there's a universe or a file saved. And then instead of saving, you can choose one, and it's supposed to bring up a confirmation menu so you can confirm whether to delete that specific universe. So that's something I still have to make too for the save game confirmation menu. I do want a yes and no. You know, this is the name that I want to give it. Yes, save it. If there's a save there, overwrite. So there's a whole bunch. That might not be the most exciting thing, but it's stuff that I need to include for usability for the players, basically. Oh, I need to stretch. I've had a weird sleep schedule. What was I doing with these? Save game titles. I don't remember why I was storing those. Yeah. Okay, so I haven't used a lot of interface variables as examples yet. Basically everything in 001 has, almost everything has its own variables. Tile sets I think don't. But there's actor variables, map variables, interface variables, global variables. Every single map can have its own variables, all in here, and every single interface you can go into the same menu, basically right-click properties and interface variables. So I do store them sometimes. It's mostly for clarity. They don't have any benefit over any other variables. They actually, like global variables are the only ones that get saved. You don't save interface variables, so I like to use them for things that are happening inside an interface while you're in the interface. Most of my interfaces don't use them, but for the saved load game stuff, I do want to use them. So I'm going to create a new menu here. This will be save game confirm. I'm going to grab my interface elements here. Just kind of build a duplicate. And then I want to grab the positioning of this one, copy, turn off the grid snapping here and paste this in there, because it doesn't matter if you put a position that's not locked to the grid, it will snap to the grid even if you specify not to here in the position entry. So in order to get it to put exactly, or in order to get it to position exactly where you want it, you have to turn off the snapping. And then I want to come back in here, grab this title, confirm universe log name. Not what I want. We'll just call it confirm universe log. Is that even centered? No, it's not. There we go. Confirm universe log. Then I want this input value here. I do want to keep all the stuff from there, which, because I'll be moving everything from this is where it's currently running the save script. This I want to store a value in this interface, and then have the final yes or no button here be what actually determines the save script, or plays the save script. So I want to grab the position of this again, Control A, Control C for keyboard shortcuts, turn off snapping, Control A, Control V, and then I don't want this to be selectable. I don't want this to update real time. I don't want to allow text input, and I don't want it to word wrap. I do want it to be a different color. So I want it to be blue, I think. This sky blue, I think. Yes. So that's not the field that's going to be activated. So it's going to show, or confirm this is the title that you want to use. Save game title will be here. Then I need buttons. So this guy needs to be, oops. Turn my snapping, oh my god. Turn my snapping back on. And then, what buttons are small enough for that? Scattered throughout my game, I have all different size buttons. Not these teensy tiny ones, maybe these teensy tiny ones. I do feel like it should be bigger than these. But I'll come back in here. It's probably going to be bigger than that. There will be a yes button and a no button, or a confirm and a back button. And I do want a gap between them. And they should be, first I want to set them to be windows. That lets me just kind of design my interface layout. Where I want everything. Actually, I just want to copy, paste two buttons. They are probably, they'll be too close if I put them together like that. Do I like that or not? I don't know. Don't know if I like it or not. And I'll just pull one of my shadow. I think I have a button shadow somewhere. Maybe I don't. I thought I did. Shoot. Well, let me import one really quick because I do have one I can use. Go back to my storage folder. This is my uncategorized testing graphics folder, really. I'm just going to import textured. There we go, station button. Oh, that's broken. This is not broken, just kidding. Let's set that to be an overlay. I'll cut that out of the walking, put it in my idle pose, just because I like having them in the idle pose. Interface, we'll just call it button shadow. No lighting, color unaffected. Button shadow it is. And it's not aligned. Oops. I always forget that part. I do wish there was a way to store an auto-centering option or something. Okay. A lot of the last few videos have kind of been very similar. I already had a button in there. God dang it. I don't actually think that's the right size button shadow. No. What was the one that I just made? swear I just made one for a video a couple days ago. 170 by 42. Okay, well, let me jump back in here really quick. I just want to do the outline of my button. So, pull up my world viewer, grab my, my menu interface. Go get my metal texture. Switch over to bumps and now that's a bit big. That is the right size. I think I can work with that. Let me try a menu button shadow. Import that. Use that as a window. I can shrink that down. Oh man. I think I have to do some manual resizing of my own. I'll have to actually make these for these buttons specifically, I think. Very tedious to get the sizing right. Well, let's paste another one over here. Scooch it back by one. And that's a little bit off. Should be at 391. Let's put it at 392. Should be at the same position as this. 716, 392. Oops. 716, 392. 564, 4 comma. Okay, some basic buttons. And we'll actually add the labels on top of these. Back. Set up all my colors. Don't need word wrap. I want these to be centered as well. Center alignment. So I can snap them in place. And this one will be confirm. There we go. So we'll go from that to that. Now, just depends on a few things. I like this appearance. I'll have to go through and redesign my buttons and shadows and stuff correctly. I want to get the exact size of these, so it should be about 148 by 44. Yeah, I'll have to do some sizing and graphic work for that, but let's say first this will be my cancel button. Cancel this interface as always, and cancel, we'll just switch it back to this one. So we'll active the save game name and hide this one. I want it to set active because I want it to take my controls. All my menu controls will only navigate the main active interface. So over here in the save game name input, first thing I want to do is scooch this out of the way. We'll just, all of this is local variables and stuff, so I'm going to have to copy some stuff, but we want to active, type in active, change the active interface to our confirm menu, and hide the other one. I can't tell if I hear screaming or an animal. I am in the middle of the mountains. I live in the middle of the mountains at like 9,000 feet in Colorado, so there's a lot of wildlife, but can't tell what I'm hearing. I think I hear people. Okay, so when I go to save a game, I get to choose a name, testing the confirmation, and it will switch to this one. But so far, I don't have anything set. Yep, just humans, no animals, no crazies. Okay, so I don't have anything set up here. So what I want to do is first, let's make an interface variable. This will just be to pass that info from the previous interface. And I'll just call this save game name. And then I'll save that. And I want this to retrieve text from that variable, so that interface variable called save game name. Excuse me. So whenever you enter this interface, it will just pull whatever's stored in that variable. I guess. Oh my god. Sorry about that. Okay, so in here, whatever you have typed in, I gotta figure out what I need to store here. because whatever you've typed in is going to be stored in save. I think I can actually do all this in the other menu. Oh, I sure can. So I just want this value here. Copy that. And then I want a variable, interface variable operation for my save game confirm. Change save game name to the value that has been typed in this interface. Save game, save a slot. Testing the title display. And doesn't do anything, so let's go in here. I think I need to update this interface. I think that's what I'm missing. Update interface, save game confirm. I think that's what I want because it's not refreshing that value when the interface opens. I think boop. I think that's all I needed. I don't even think I need the update interface. Let's try that. Give it a go. See what we have here. Maybe it will work. Maybe it won't. Save a name test. Oh, gotta update it. Don't know why I gotta update it. Shouldn't have to, but I gotta. Reconnect. Hi. So many of the same screen over and over and over again. It starts to get a bit tedious testing certain things sometimes because they're not super exciting. So change this, changing the name. There we go. And then you can't do anything on this menu. You can escape from it. You can hit the escape button. But alright, and I guess I could make a selector. I'll just rename everything here. Back, confirm, back button. Actually, I'll just call it back button. Confirm button. Back button. Back label. And confirm label. They should both be selectable. And let's go grab the script. I'm just going to copy it. I like to copy paste things. I don't cut and paste until I get everything working, just in case I mess something up. I don't want to lose everything that I did. So over here in the confirm spot, we will. This is actually checking. I wonder if that will pass over here correctly. Copy, paste one of these, and make it blue. And we'll call this the selector here. Confirm selector. It will go behind the labels. These should be behind. Confirm shadow. Back shadow. Back button. Confirm button. Back label. Confirm label. Okay, everything's in place. I just want to set the confirm selector here. Make sure all my colors are right. Disabled should be my dark gray. And confirm light, white, and dark gray. I will go through and I have to reset my default coloring. Let's give it a go. Save the game to this. That's a little weird. It's off center. Okay. This is happening because I haven't recreated all of those local variables. So let's go in here. I'm going to make a save time, and a save name, and a stat load variable. Save time, save name, stat load. Oh, why am I offset to? There should be no. Let's copy paste and center these. Yikes. There we go. They weren't correctly in the middle of their buttons. Save a slot as this. Confirm. Universe log successfully stored. So that's all there is to that. I can actually do the same thing. Now, here in the save game entry spot, I could just have a back button. I might add a back button. I might do the same thing, add a back and confirm to the name entry. But once you've confirmed your save, let's say I'll load this one up. Go ahead and do a new save game. Make a new save file. So confirm. You can left and right it. Oops. Why can't I left and right? Oh yeah, I haven't included my left and right controls yet. I can only do up and down at the moment, but you can up and down through these. Back, we'll go back to renaming. Confirm. I need to make it so it selects confirm automatically as well. So in here, upon entering, we want to change the selected field of this interface to confirm label. So when you enter this interface, instead of automatically selecting back, it'll automatically select confirm. So you could just enter through. I want it so you can just enter through, hit escape if you want to go back, hoping everything is as intuitive as it looks. So you can enter, enter, bam. New game, save, enter, 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 enter. New game, store. And then you can go back. Quick and easy. And then you can reload. Okay, so there's a save game confirmation menu there. So I actually might use yes and no and a confirm and back button there. So it would be yes, no, and here we'll have confirm. I want to actually grab my coordinates from all of these. Control C. I'll even copy that. Control C, paste, turn off snapping. Come in here and Control V that. Come back over here. Do the same for this side. Control C, Control V. I forgot to grab the coordinates because I'm a fool. Control A, Control C. Maybe I'm getting super lung cancer or something. So then I want to copy my buttons. And since they all have the same coordinates, I can just paste that in there. Back over here. Where'd it go? Oops. Oops. Control C. There we go. I think this is what I want. I think. I could be wrong. Right now, pressing enter activates the input field here when I would like it to activate one of these, but if you select a different button, it will unselect the input field, so I have to consider this. I have an idea. Might just be watching me experiment for a while. Who knows? We'll see. Now come back here, grab this no label, paste it right in the middle, back. I'll just paste that there. There. Confirm. Grab that selector. Let's call it naming selector. this should be confirm label. And we'll move this between the labels and the button backgrounds. Ta-da! Alright, so back should cancel this interface. And confirm should do exactly what the input field does. Or it should activate the input field. We'll tell it to activate this interface's where is it? Input field. Don't need these right now. So clicking this should activate this. There's going to be a few details I have to fix, like I want it to auto-select the input field whenever you're not hovering over a button or something. And one more thing, I forgot to set the selector. I don't know about you guys, I love working with interfaces. It's one of my favorite parts. I do like designing them, I like the way they work, I like making different layered interfaces. Let me see, I'll load up this one. I'll save it over this one. Now you see how the selector is going up there. Because that field is selectable. That's not how I want this to work, and it's not going to work the way that I want. So also those labels aren't centered again because I didn't properly center them. Control A, Control C, turn off snapping, and paste that in here. And do the same thing for this button. Grab the button's coordinates and paste it into the labels. Come on. Whew, always something. Okay, let's give that one more go. It's going to highlight the input field, so I do have a way to fix that. The way I tend to fix that is I make my buttons separate from, if I have multiple things that I need selectable on one interface, such as these two buttons down here, because if you try to type when you're on this interface, it doesn't work. It actually treats those letters as arrow keys unless you have the field selected. So if you don't have the input field selected and you type in, you know, W, it'll go up and select it. So there's some stuff that I need to fix with that. You go through here. I haven't associated anything, so let's quickly associate the buttons with their labels so that I can actually select the buttons. This will be associated with the confirm label. And back in here, I do want these buttons to be associated with their labels. And my back button to be associated with the back label. And therein lies my issue here, because I don't ever actually want... This is a case where I might not want to use a selector, just this one interface. So there's two ways I can fix this. I can either put these two buttons on another overlay interface, or I can just set these to not use a selector. And so let's go ahead and delete this. There's no selector field. And I can do a few different things here. What I think I'm going to do is just manually set stuff up. So when your mouse enters, we want to change the sprite of the background field. So in this interface, we'll just change the back button to which... Oh, I already forget where the buttons were that I was using. I think it's in the station. Yeah, station button. So I want it to be a highlight button. Mouse touch leave should bring it back to normal. And mouse touch down, we'll press it. So the pressed button here. And I also want, whenever the mouse leaves, to change the selected field of this interface back to the input field. So this may or may not work the way that I want. I've done this a few different ways, but we'll just fiddle around. I just want to copy all these triggers over here because it's exactly the same behavior. Just turning the buttons blue. And I might just do it the other way, have an overlay with separate buttons. We'll see, I'm not sure yet. Okay, new game stored. So, forgot to switch it up so these fix or change the other button. They're changing the back button instead of the confirm button. So we go back through these really quick and switch them over. Ta-da! Alright. Now it should give me blue buttons when I mouse over them, black buttons when I'm not hovering over them. Don't know if that's what I want exactly. We'll see, because when you're in there, you type hello. Okay, so that's not exactly crisp and clear. One more thing I have to add in too. Got to make sure that they actually give it a save name as well, otherwise it'll just be an empty space. So I'll have to fix that. Confirm, no, back. I could have it set up so that the selector only appears if it's hovering over these, but right now, yeah, I don't like that. So I gotta make a new interface here. Save game buttons. I call it save game name buttons. I don't always have to do it like this, but for this, in a lot of cases when I have an interface with multiple areas that are going to be selectable, I do like to have my overlay, an overlay of buttons so you can select everything separately. So we'll put that there. Actually, I should cut and paste everything for this. So I'm going to paste that, turn off my snapping, paste that, and then move that behind my selector. Why didn't it cut that? And we'll cut that. We'll paste that here. Me to turn off the grid. Put that where it's supposed to be. Then come back over here and do the same thing again with the other side. So I want to copy the coordinates, cut that, paste that, turn off snapping, paste that in there, come back in here, grab that, paste that, turn off snapping, and paste that in here. So now this is going to try and cancel this interface here, which is not what we want. So we want it to cancel the save game name interface. And over here in the cancel trigger, we want to use a show hide to turn off the buttons. So I want to turn off the name buttons and then switch to the save load game menu. So that'll shut off the buttons, which will come on when you enter this interface. So when you first enter this, you want to do another show hide. We're going to turn those buttons on, but we're going to set them to parallel because we want them to run in addition to the input line. So that way, you should be able to select that and these two buttons at the same time. These are a little bit too tall. Let's make them 40. Same case here. Okay, so now when you enter that menu, those buttons should pop up. I should be able to do everything at the same time. We'll see. I might have to pass interface controls, because I think I have the input menu, the save game naming menu is my main interface. Okay, so yeah, you can't can't do anything because these are all doing something I don't want them to do. So change the back button to, that's correct. Don't want that. I got to reassociate these. tedious. Oh man, hour and a half. Why is it always doing this? Popping up stuff for me. Okay. Now I go to save the game once again. Why is that blue? Oh yeah, I don't have a selector. Set that up, and then I forgot I don't need any of these again. For now, I'm going to delete all those behaviors. I'm going to add in the right button behaviors later when you click on them. It should turn the selector pressed instead of the buttons. So that's some more work I'll have to do. Alright. Now these select correctly without messing up what I'm typing. Look at pressing enter. Where'd my other button go? What? Oh, mother. I think I cut and pasted the wrong button earlier. Oops. There we go. Okay, now it should all be good. Going back there, I do have to have it auto-select one of these first, because it's not, but, oh no! That's right, that's right. Save game name. I have to activate the actual interface field, so it can't be this input, it has to be save game name input. And I want, when you've entered this one, change the selected field of the save game name buttons. Want to change and select the confirm label. So it'll select the confirmation button or confirm button automatically. Save. Cool. So it selects the confirm button. No. And then navigating does nothing. So let's go in here and say when you're on this interface, it's active. Navigate left. You want to navigate the save game name buttons left. I'll just copy that. Navigate right. I want to do right. I think up and down would do the same thing if I pass the controls. So let's make sure that left and right works so I can move the selector between the two buttons. I don't actually think I have left and right controls set up in my menu. Do I? Yes, I do. Navigate the main left and right, which it should be doing. This is supposed to be set to active, so let me make sure that it's doing that. Once you've clicked on one of these, save game name should be the active interface, and then save game name whenever you're navigating. It should move the save game button selector left, right. So let's just put all 4 controls in here. There we go. My up and downs work. I don't know why the left and rights aren't doing it, but it should. Now back. So what is that doing to me? Okay. Pressing enter here just confirms because it's on the input field here. So if you press enter on back, that doesn't work. So let's go in here, say if it's activated. And the selected field of the interface called save game name buttons is back label. We will activate this interface's, actually it's the save game name buttons. Activate that one. I think that's what I wanted to do. I think. I want it so that when the back button is highlighted, pressing enter will go back. That way it just sort of appears that all of the behaviors are based on the buttons, not just the input field. Okay, so back will go back, confirm will confirm, and then just typing allows you to type. Escape will go back, and then you save the game. Oh yeah, once you hit confirm over here, first things first, once you confirm this one, and you activate the input field here, it switches over but doesn't turn off the button. So let's go ahead and show hide interfaces, buttons turn off. So I want those buttons to turn off whenever you enter the confirmation menu. So if you don't, they will still just be floating there when you finally exit the main menu. Here we go. Let us load a save with no enemies. and then do a new save here. Everything works right. Enter. Enter. Bloop. There we go. And all my buttons cancel out. Oh yeah, I need to make it reselect whenever you go back. So when you cancel from the confirm menu, we need it to select save game name buttons, save game name buttons. I want to select the confirm label. A lot of little things just to get the behavior that you want visually, like highlighting the correct fields, automatically selecting the most common choice. Like if you're going to do a save game menu, you probably want to select yes automatically instead of no. So confirm. You go back a menu. Oh, that doesn't work right. Why? Why? I wonder why that doesn't work. Let's try it whenever this menu is displayed instead of this one. So it should open the save game name menu, which then launches the save name confirm menu and the buttons menu, and I always want them to reset when displayed. Very few cases do I not. It just depends on. I like to use the update interface to refresh all the values and the fields and stuff. So let's see. Confirm, confirm, awesome. Let's just save it over this one again. Nice. Universe log successfully stored. I could pull that right back up from right where I was. Beautiful. I also want this sidebar over here, so whatever menu you've selected, it'll automatically stay on that choice, so you can scroll through and just exit back to where you were. All of these menus are going to take a lot more work, so that's fixing the confirm stuff. Back to the options menu that we were working on and sort of got sidetracked, not quite sidetracked, but I need all of my save game stuff to be functional, because in my options menu I'm going to have a delete universe option. So go ahead and create a new interface. Delete universe. And that'll be exactly the same as all the other options menus, basically, starting with these backgrounds. Those are easy enough to put in. I'll be able to replace all of these with individual graphics eventually. So we'll go delete universe, call this one delete universe. And it's going to be the same stuff that's on the save load game menu. Basically, it's going to have these 5 slots here and a back button for deleting the slot. I'm approaching the 2-hour mark, am I not? I wonder if I can do this before 2 hours is up. I could use a little bit of a break, but let's say we do the same thing that I've done with all my other options menus here. I just want to copy all my buttons over, give it a series of buttons. These will be my button backgrounds. And I'll have all my labels. So copy the selector first. So now I have delete game selector. I don't want anything set to per pixel cursor. That's for oblong shapes or weird, if you want a circular button that you can only click where the circle is and not in the transparent areas, or for weird shapes, but it's more performance intense. So all of these have the retrieve information that I want set up to display their names correctly. So I think those are scooted a little too far. I want all of these slots to match what I have in my save load game menu here. Sort of. I'm going to change the scripting, but the basics for displaying the names of everything is going to be the exact same. So I can copy paste most of this stuff because it has all the retrieve information that I want to just retrieve the name that I'm saving. Then I want slot 5. And lastly, I want my back button, specifically positioned back button. Doot. Doot. Alright, so I got this delete universe menu. Now, to verify what I did in the old project, I'm going to pull it back up again. Go over into my main menu, options menu, delete universe menu. Here in the delete confirm, my confirmation here picks from whichever slot that I've selected. So I'm going to have to, oh yeah, this is where I save nothing. I give it a basic name, but it doesn't save the game. So let me just copy this over because I can do some experimenting to put it all together. So over here, I believe what I did was I had it so when you click on one of these slots here, it will set a variable in the next menu. So this will be slot 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I want to delete confirmation menu. So over here, I can actually copy this or make a duplicate universe. We'll call this delete universe confirm. And I want to drag this over here. So now I've got a delete universe interface and delete universe confirm. So that's going to give me what I need here. And delete universe confirm, it's got a variable, but I'm going to call it delete game slot. Delete game slot. And whichever of these you click on will open the other interface and set that variable to the appropriate slot. So instead of doing any of this crap here, I don't need to do any of this. We're not checking to see if it's a save load game or anything. And we want to change the active interface to the delete universe confirm menu. I'll say universe log slot 1. We'll call actually delete slot 1. We'll just call it slot 1. And this will change the input to the name that has been saved there. So it's pretty basic. Nothing fancy. All the highlight behaviors are to show which save you're highlighting and everything. So what I want to do with this one is the same thing I've been doing. We're going to change the active interface to the delete universe interface, which will be all the way back here, and we'll hide the options menu that was displayed before. Doesn't need an update real time. None of these do actually. I don't think I turned it off on any of them. They're not actually doing anything at the moment, but so to delete universe log, clicking on that will open up the delete universe menu, which will be all of our save slots here. And then each of these should do something different. We want this to set the variable, the interface variable of the delete universe confirm, delete game slot to slot 0. So that'll be slot 1. Effectively, slot 0 is number 1, save slot number 1. We'll copy all of this into slot 2. Gonna be a lot of cleanup eventually. This will name it for store slot 2, 1 for slot 2, 2 for slot 3, and so forth. Come back in here, delete all that, paste that, change this to a 2 for slot 3. Slot 4. So 3 for slot 4. And here in slot number 5, same thing. Will be slot number 4 to delete save number 5. Okay. So that will open up the confirm menu. And then we want this to be not save game name, but the information from that slot. So I'm going to have to think about this for a second. Actually, I can just easily pass the name. Call it slot game name. Okay, and then over here in the delete universe, I can just have it pass the name of each of these. Control A, Control V, Control A, Control V. I just got to do this several more times. Oops. Control A, Control C, Control V, Control A, Control V. And number 4, Control A, Control C, Control V, paste a copied one, Control A, Control V, and lastly we do the same thing here, Control A, Control C, V, link those. Control A, Control V. Alright, so that'll pass the name over to confirm. We want this here to retrieve the variable called slot game name. I want to use a different named variable for this. This shouldn't actually have an activated trigger anymore. So we get rid of that. No, it doesn't, you doofus. Okay. Set a confirm. Call it delete universe log. And then here, I want to get rid of all that. Actually, I want to keep these down here. We will call this the spot that we put everything. And I forgot to paste the script from the other project, so what I want here is a multi-comparison branch to check what value is currently being stored in the delete game slot. I don't even think I need to do that. Delete save game in slot number. Delete slots. Don't even need to do that. So delete the game that's in this slot. I might have to do some extra stuff, but I don't think I want that at the moment. Successfully deleted. So there's no guarantee that this is all just going to work straight out with no testing. I just did a whole bunch of stuff without even seeing if anything worked. But it should. It should all let me go in there, go into my options, then go to delete a universe log. So we've got this. It's off center because I didn't tell it to pan, and it's currently not closing the main menu, which it should. So say we want to delete this one. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is tricky. All of my stuff is still set up to cancel the wrong interfaces. This needs to go back to delete universe. The options menu. This needs to hide the main menu, which it should be doing, but it's not. Or the main menu should be hiding when you go into the options menu. Let me see. Oh yeah, for now I want to keep the main menu open because there's some stuff checking there. Okay, so that's stuff for me to remember, not for you. So the next thing here, same thing. I want to do this positioning to pan my interface. Whenever you're on the title screen, it'll be centered, but whenever you're not, it will be placed in the center of the flight camera. And there's probably a few steps that I have to do still. Yikes. Alright. Correct positioning. My selector, none of my things are set up right, so everything's all funky. We will make the selector field work. I'll call this slot 1 button. Actually, I can just associate all of these together while I'm in there. Slot 1 choice. slot 2 button associated to slot 2 choice. Slot 3 button associated with slot 3 choice. Slot 4 button associated with slot number 4 choice. Slot 5 button associate that with slot 5, and then the very last button, back button. Bloop. And we'll get rid of that guy. Associate that with the back label. And then back label here, I believe is cancelling correctly the consoles delete universe console active options menu, hide this one. Alright. It might have been a little bit fast and slightly confusing, but mostly just telling it to cancel the right interfaces, etc. So we go in here, options, that returns to the main menu correctly. Delete universe returns to the options menu. And what is this doing here? Slot 5 choice trigger. It's trying to change the selector. Delete game selector. All of these have the wrong selector setup. Yeesh. Make sure all that's right. Delete game selector. And I don't think there's anything else touching that. Okay, so each of these buttons has that incorrect setup. They're all trying to change the selector on a different interface. This is all for the button pressing animation when you click on a button. Sometimes you do have to do this. Oh, dang it. Slot number 3. I also have to do it to the back button, I forgot. Yikes. Change all the saves to delete. Very, 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 very boring and tedious. But when it all works in the end, it's worth it. Number 2. 2 more to go. Oh, 2 more fields worth. One more. Delete. Delete. And delete. Okay, now try that one more time. Loading, 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 loading. All right. Testing. Save game. Works. Go to options. That works. Go to delete. That works. My selector is off-centered for some reason. I'll deal with that in a minute. It's also not auto-selecting a field. So once we pick a save to delete, it's not displaying. So let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so why is my selector offset? Because who knows? Let's copy that. I need my selector to be offset by -8 pixels so it's in line correctly. Then we go into delete universe confirm. Slot game name, correct. Clicking on this. Let me try. That's why. I forgot to have it change the correct menu. It was changing a different menu's text altogether. Okay, so let's see. Choosing slot 1 as a deletion lets me see the name. I just have to get one slot to work right and I can copy paste everything over. So we'll go in here, go to options, go to delete a universe. I'll pick the first one and bam, there we go. There's our name. Yes, delete it will break because I don't have the correct actions in there yet. So we'll quit the game. Over here in confirm, it's doing some stuff that is incorrect. I want to delete the right save slot, say that it's done, and it's refreshing the wrong it's refreshing the wrong menu. I want to refresh the delete universe menu. And then over here it should change the text log at the bottom of the screen. So there's a few extra details I will get to later. Just want to make sure I can delete slot number 1. So options, delete universe, slot number 1, visible, no goes back to delete universe. Why isn't it storing? Interesting. Okay, so that log is empty. It's just not refreshing the name right. There's nothing left there. I think I actually have to go into my my folder. Oh, it's the wrong folder. It's hard to get to. It's actually in your users. Go into your documents, 001 games, then your folder contains all your save files. But here in settings.ini, it's still showing that I have a slot 0, but you can see there's no slot 0 saved. So it's storing this information here. The way to clear that out is to save the setting, resave over the setting as blank. So when you delete the universe here, this will say that the save is done, but we want to include a setting, save setting. So we want it to store nothing for the value, and the section will be save, and the key will be save, and I want to copy that. It's going to be the interface variable of the save game slot. So that's going to be a 0 through 4 for slots 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's technically slot 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I want to combine that with the word slot. So that will give me slot 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And I want to just replace it with nothing. And that will overwrite the setting here so that it contains nothing. I'll close out of that so I can reopen it. So first things first, we'll come in here, we'll fly over this way, just turbo it a bit, and we'll create a new save game here. I'll get rid of the number at the beginning and just call it testing the deletion. Yes. So now we have a file called testing the deletion. When you open up this settings.ini, you can see it. Testing the deletion, sector 0, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we'll go back to the title screen and say we're starting over again. We're sick of that save game. Come in here. Yeah, let's delete it. It's doing some weird stuff here. Let me see. Index 1 too high for tar. It's not firing an error anywhere, but it's because this is trying to retrieve the name of the save, and we don't want it to if there's nothing there. So when you go back to load game, it's going to do the same thing for each of these because it's trying to retrieve a name that's not actually there. So what you can actually do is have it replace that with, the word slot. Let's just say interface variable this slot +1. So that'll, instead of showing slot 0, it'll show slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. And I want to combine it with the word slot with a space. And so it'll just store that value slot blank, or slot space number. That way that won't be empty. You can actually, I'm going to set it up so that it shows a certain thing if there's no save file at all in that slot, so errors don't go firing all over the place. Because when you go into the menu first, it's going to error because there's supposed to be something there. So let's resave over this as new save. That will fix that error from firing. And now we have a save that I can delete. When I go to delete that save now, it'll replace it with a blank name, say empty slot. I also want to close this when it's done so it goes back here, but then we'll get this empty slot. You can keep deleting it if you want, but it doesn't matter. Now you'll have no more errors here. You can just write over it. New save game. Yes. Continue right from where you left off, and you can go back in here, delete that if you want. Boop. And I don't have it set up to want it to switch the active interface back to the delete universe interface. And hide this one. So we'll try that one more time for the final step there. For the final piece. This is a pretty decently long stream. So we'll go see that we have a empty save, new save in slot 1. And go back to delete it. Yes, delete. And it goes back to the menu. You have an empty save slot here now. I might have it replace it with a number value instead, like number 1, number 2, but alright. I think that's all I'm going to do for this video for now. I want to come back and do the rest of my options menu. I do have several more screens that I have to knock out, like audio settings. I want to do volume stuff and sliders. I haven't gotten to do those yet, and hopefully I can get to them later. I'm going to take a bit of a break now. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff about the save game, delete game stuff. But in the meantime, go to screamingbrainstudios.com. There are free asset packs. A lot of the stuff that you see here is stuff that I'm using in my own project. I make these for not just for myself, but for anybody who's trying to build prototypes and stuff. So a lot of the planet graphics are coming from my 2D planet pack or from the planet texture pack. These I just convert into spherical shapes for planets. And then there's a lot of space backgrounds. There's star fields, and like the background of the website even, you can get that in that pack for free as well. All of these packs are 100% free. They are public domain, so you can do whatever you want with them. You can edit them, you can put them in your own projects, commercial or non-commercial, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. You can redistribute them. You can sell them to someone else if you want. Please don't do that, but you can. If you want to subscribe to my Patreon, it's only $1. You get a special thanks credit in all of my asset packs. You get special thanks on the main website. You get access to the Discord, and there's like 1,000-something extra free assets for you guys, from experiments, failed packs, releases that I never put out. And then there's tutorials here. A lot of these, I'm actually using a lot of these methods in this game, like the space backgrounds, planet textures and stuff, how to make 2D planet sprites. Most of the stuff that you see in here in the game, I have a tutorial for similar techniques. And if you don't have any software to work with, here's a whole bunch of free stuff on the website. There's links to free tools, and then there's links to some paid tools like Photoshop and Sprite, things that I actually use that I think are great tools but aren't necessarily free. Bottom of this page just tells you all the abandoned software that I have in my library that I use to make graphics for this game, for these projects, and for these asset packs. You can't get any of them anymore, unfortunately, but I will be making all kinds of graphics using these programs just for you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. It means a lot. Your support means a lot. Hopefully these videos have been informative and you're getting stuff out of it. Let me know if there's anything you guys want me to cover, or if there's something that I've done incorrectly, or if you want to correct me. So until next time.